Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action. Hey, it's off. I am ready for the biggest party of the summer. Got the summer gear on. I'm all ready.
Mate, those glasses look good on you.
Mate, I'm literally just wearing these for this because I cannot see a damn thing out of these. So
it's funny as well because obviously we've got the build-up show coming up, and like sometimes we do dress up and things like that. And we're thinking of ideas what we're gonna do for SummerSlam. I didn't think you'd be coming early with it on the prediction show.
Oh, mate, I'm all ready for the biggest party of the summer. That's better. I can actually see what I'm doing now, which is a lot better. I'll take this thing off. There we go. There's only one person can wear hats around here, and it definitely ain't me. So
that looks all right, man. Don't put yourself down.
Right. So, bloody hair's all over the gaff now. But
maybe
anyway,
back on.
Yeah, maybe. Probably be better, actually. There we go.
Hey!
Right, so we are the Hat Crew, obviously Scott and Dan from the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and we are here to predict SummerSlam. WWE's probably their biggest event of the year because obviously with WrestleMania, yeah. So you looking forward to it?
That way. Yeah, man, I'm excited when I look at the card. I haven't watched much lately, and that might show up in my predictions. I might be at a slight disadvantage as far as the weeklies, but yeah, I mean, the card itself is exciting. It's just a lot of things that have been happening on in the wrestling world has kind of made me think, I can't be bothered with this. I'd rather be watching something else because some things are doing really well at the moment and some things aren't doing so well. So I've been a bit off of some of the content lately. But hey, when you look at the SummerSlam card, I'm like, wait a minute. If there's a reason to pay attention, it's this card.
There's definitely a big fight feel about it, isn't there? And you know, it's going to be obviously in front of a stadium full of people, which is good. So yeah, we are literally, as we say, on the road to SummerSlam. Let's take just a quick look at the table before we start. So obviously Rob at the top on 14, me and you both tied on 13, Lucas trailing behind on 11. But yeah, there is obviously only us two predicting today. Rob has sent over his predictions as well. So we will know what Rob's predictions are and see who is going to advance in the battle for the Rebellious Noise
Rob.
Trophy. Hopefully not, no.
Yeah, we're trying to catch up.
But yeah, what we are going to do is we're obviously still going to do our roll of dice predictions. But instead of having 1, 2, 3, and 4, obviously I will be odds, you can be even. So it's like I'm usually number 1, you're usually number 2.
And
so
it'll
be 1 and
quite odd as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be 1 and 3 will be me, 2 or 4 will be you.
Cool.
So we'll kick off then with the first match, which is Jinder Mahal taking on Drew McIntyre. So we'll see who is going first here. It is number 2, so that's you. Out of interest, Rob has gone for Drew McIntyre for this one.
Yeah, I think this is a quick one for me. I think Drew McIntyre. The biggest comment I've got is, it's nice to see the 3MB thing, and I'm glad they've done this storyline. And the second biggest comment I've got is, in that render, Drew's wearing his football shirt. Okay, cool. Other than that, I don't have much to say. Drew's going to win. And it is like we said before, bring him out of the title picture. This is a good storyline for them both. It'd be better if I think Jinder could win because I think Jinder definitely could go up to that next level. But I think this is just to keep Drew out of the title picture but make him look strong. So surely Drew's winning.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree with that. I think, you can't really go any other way, I don't think, other than having Drew win. Have the big baby face overcome like Veer and Shanky and obviously Drew and Jinder Mahal
and
kind
Drew
of thing.
Overcome himself.
Yeah, overcome himself. Yeah, fighting those demons.
But
yeah, but I can't see anything other than a Drew winning that one, I think. So yeah, I think we're pretty much all locked in with that. So
quick one, which is good because there's a lot to go through.
yeah, 8 matches so far, and
yeah.
it's strange because some of these we've been on and there's been like 3 matches and we're like, how are we gonna manage to get something up? But yeah, we're gonna move into one of the bigger matches on this card actually, and that is Edge versus Seth Rollins. It's a hard one to choose, this one actually. So let's see who is going first. It is number 3, so that's me.
Yeah, so number for the odd man. Here we go.
Yeah, so Rob's gone with Edge now.
Okay.
This for me it's kind of tough because everything that's been happening, like storyline wise, would be towards like, oh, Edge is gonna get the redemption for what could have happened in 2014, and you know, Seth saying, oh, I should have ended your career then, blah blah blah. But do I think Edge is gonna win, or do I think it's gonna be? Yeah, I do think Edge is gonna win this. Though I do, you know, I think Seth probably could do with it more to kind of push him up there a little bit more. But yeah, I think Edge is going to win it.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same, man. I think Edge, because even though this one could go either way, maybe if it was at a different point in the calendar or something like that, you know, but like how many times, like obviously Edge didn't win at Mania, and maybe it was supposed to originally, who knows. So, you know, I feel like he kind of needs to get, but at the same time, like I said, Seth kind of needs it as well, you know, since his return. He's not won that much. So, and he's another person that's been pulled out of the main event scene and maybe needs to be built back up into it. So it's kind of tough, but I think out of the two of them, if they want to make anyone look good right now, because they need their comeback to look stronger, it's the comeback of X amount of years and whatever else, and a redemption storyline, you know, and Seth being a heel can afford to lose a little bit more in that. So I do think it's Edge as well. Because, I mean, since he's come back, obviously you had the injury with the Randy Orton match as well. So, yeah, I think Edge, I think they're going to see as Edge needs to get this big win at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, like it's the first time obviously the two of them are facing off as well, which is
it'll be a great match.
Yes, it'll definitely be probably up there as one of the matches of the night. I think. I just hope that they don't do what they've been doing with Edge and just give him like 30 minutes. I think, you know, just stick it to like a nice 12-minute match. They'd be able to pull off some great stuff in it. So
yeah, and it's like you said earlier, I think like marquee matches. You know what I mean? It's good to see another marquee match. Like this is like dream match territory, you know. So to see that on SummerSlam. And kind of necessity this year, they kind of feel it seems they're going to push SummerSlam like another version of Mania, which it kind of is sometimes in summer anyway. But, you know, looking at the card, it's stacked of some really good title matches. So I'm glad that this isn't a title match because it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it can build towards like another contender for the title as well down the line, which is good. So
yeah, there's enough of a story in there, so it's good. Yeah, it's good they haven't rushed to throwing the IC title in there just for the sake of it, you know.
Yeah, which is now on King Nakamura is the new Intercontinental Champion. There we go. But yeah, talking of mid-card WWE titles, it leads nicely into the next match, which is for the United States Championship, which is Sheamus defending against Damian Priest. I think it's probably a second time Sheamus has defended this title since he won it at WrestleMania. So let's see which one of us is going to go first. It is 4. So that's going to be you. Rob's gone Damian Priest. So Rob reckons we're going to see a new United States champion.
Yeah, this is another one where I'm torn because, like, I haven't been that torn so far. What am I torn about? I'm more torn, I guess, then. But for the similar reasons of, like, if I was to be torn the others, because Priest feels like, yeah, he had the big thing with Bad Bunny and he was highlighted really well, but then since then he's kind of just floated about, not doing as much. And then on the other side, like you say, Sheamus hasn't had a chance to really defend the title. So they had the storyline before of like fake calling out people, and we were all thinking at the time it was going to be Cena and it would lead to that at the moment, and maybe that was the plan, but you know, because it was reminiscent of Cena's kind of US Open challenge. But so maybe they were going to go that route and then Sheamus obviously being, you know, injured and whatever else, he hasn't done much else. So like maybe this would have been the time to take the title off him. But because he hasn't actually defended it that much, maybe it's like, no, we need to keep it on him to give him that reign. Or do they go with the original thing of, no, Priest, yeah, it's time for Priest now. We sell, Sheamus knew it was going to be SummerSlam and whatever else. So, it's tough, man. Because I do feel like the US title on Priest just makes sense. But
yeah, and let's not forget Keith Lee was meant to originally win it. So it's like, this was kind of like the secondary idea, wasn't it?
Threat or whatever it was.
Yeah. And so obviously, like, since it's come out with Keith Lee, like, how bad, like, he was close to death pretty much. And, glad to hear that he's doing well now, though, and great to see him back on TV. So, yeah, send him best wishes, obviously, to Keith Lee. Hoping that, he has a long and successful career.
Yeah, of course. And hopefully we can see him back in these title pictures soon.
Definitely.
Which more so, Sheamus and Keith Lee, I could see that happening, the next storyline. So it's like whether or not, like, both of these things make sense. The storyline with Sheamus, like, of him being the champ has been good. He had a really good year previous to that. So it'd be good to see him carry on with it. But at the same time, Priest being US champ kind of makes sense, that next step for him, So I really am torn on this one. And this might be through me not watching it much lately, but I think I might have to go with Sheamus just to hold on to be that dominant champ for a little bit longer, actually defend it and then basically it mean more when it's taken off him, which is what we thought it was going to be originally. But again, maybe that's not it. Maybe it's just time to give it to Priest. I'm going to go Sheamus, even though I'm already feeling like maybe I should have gone Priest, but I've locked it in.
Yeah, for me, I think this is one of the tougher ones, I think, for me as well, because it is essentially just like a flip of a coin as to who's going to win it, because
they both make sense, weren't they?
Yeah, but either way, I think it's going to be a hard hitting match. It's going to be a good match, and it's honestly one of them things where I wouldn't be unhappy to see either man leave with a championship as well. So you get some matches where it's like, oh, please don't let them win the title, but for this, it's like, I'd be happy with Sheamus winning. I'd be happy with Damian Priest winning. But obviously, I can't be saying that and sitting on the fence with it. I have to actually make a selection. Because then as well, I've got to try and think further down the line, how many other title changes are we going to see throughout the night?
Yeah, and also further down the line with these two guys, because I was thinking, all right, I'm fine with, like you said, either one winning it, but then it all depends on, as long as the other person isn't dropped into obscurity, So, but then again, if it changes hands, it can go back to a second, like a rematch. But yeah,
I think we're going to see a title change. I think Priest is winning it.
Oh,
do you think
see,
Priest
now that
is
we've gone
winning it
separate and we could differentiate the points from this. Oh no, I'm even more worried.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So yeah, sticking with championships, obviously all the rest of the matches are going to be championship matches. But I've gone literally the way that I'm doing this. I'm going Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. So
cool.
That's the little way I'm going here. So the next one is for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, which is the Usos taking on the Mysterios. So Rob has gone, obviously, for the Usos.
Of course, yes.
Wouldn't expect anything less. And it's going to be me to go first.
Hey.
That's weird. Every number's come out so far, which is good. It's normally just always Rob's number. So.
Funny when it's just me and you.
Yeah, I've not loaded the dice this time.
Yeah, rigged it. Yeah.
Either way, Rob gets to go first all the time, anyways. I think this is going to be where Dominik turns on him. So I'm going. Confidently, I'm going with the Usos for this one, I think.
Big call. That's a big call.
Yeah. I mean, especially because after SmackDown, it was like there was a little bit of kind of dissension where, Ray was trying to give Dom advice. He's like, look, I want to try and do bits on my own. And yeah, it's just, I guess, yeah.
Usos. Or are they putting it in there to kind of like sprinkle a little bit of things?
Maybe.
Yeah, but I'm going to agree with you. I don't know if that turn's going to happen. It'd be interesting to see it. I think it's got to happen at some point. It'd be good. But now the fans are back, do they benefit from just keeping them together and having them as fan favourites, So, but I don't see him coming away with the titles. I do see the Usos keeping it. And I think that's the right decision as well. And whatever happens with the Mysterios, I'm sure it'll be entertaining. So, I'm looking forward to this match. And again, this match, we were all complaining last time how we were frustrated. It was on the pre-show. So, it's good to see it getting a bit of space now on the main show. And hopefully, because it was a really good match as well, hopefully it'll be just as good.
And it's nice the fact, obviously, that years ago it was Rey Mysterio winning custody of Dominik at SummerSlam. So,
of course,
plays into it nicely.
Oh, yeah. SummerSlam's also the one where he loses his son. If he goes, all those years ago, you won. I didn't want to be won by you, Ray. It
just literally turns around to him and goes, "Viva la raza."
Yeah, but that'd be a bit weird to have basically sort of an Eddie heel turn as well, because that'd turn Eddie heel if he's aligning with him. And that's not something that's been done in wrestling before, I don't think, at this point. But yeah,
he's like, "You're my dad. I lied."
I lied. Okay.
So, so I guess going on from that, we move on to the Raw Women's Championship, which is Nikki A.S.H. defending the championship against Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Let's see who will go first. It is number 3. So that is me. So Rob's gone with Nikki A.S.H. here.
Okay.
So part of me's inclined to agree with him.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure whether Charlotte is going to be getting kind of punished for the stuff with her dad, obviously, Rick leaving WWE. And, there's been a lot of stuff about he's apparently not happy with her booking. So,
right.
Yeah,
I thought that ruffled too many feathers, sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like with some of the feathers in their gear, there's enough of them to ruffle. To be fair, so
kind of bring it on themselves.
Yeah, it's weird to think a match with Charlotte in where you're thinking, I think she's probably for me the outsider to win. It's like, do they give Rhea another big win on a big stage like they did at WrestleMania?
Yeah, true.
But then it's like, I'm not really a fan of like you're cashing in that money in like the Money in the Bank, and then you're only going to have like a month-long title reign. So I'm inclined to agree with Rob. I think Nikki A.S.H. I feel as though for a feel-good story, I guess she could be like building up. I'm almost a superhero now. I am a superhero. I've won. I've beaten these 2 big stars in front of like loads of people. So I think I'm going to go with Nikki A.S.H. as well.
I think the same. I remember when she won it, we were like, don't cash it in straight away. And then she did. The argument was strike while the iron's hot, but I think since then we've realized the iron probably wasn't as hot as everyone thought it was, which makes me think they could take it off her. But hey, they're committed, and I'm with you. Like, I think if you give someone it after cashing in that quick, they can't also lose it that quick. So I think it's a good idea to keep it on her. And obviously, they're invested enough. I know things can change in WWE real fast. We've learned that a lot recently. But I do think they'd probably see benefit in investing in this character and having it as a feel-good moment at SummerSlam. Because, again, it is quite similar to WrestleMania in terms of, like, the way they book things, So I think they're going to want those big happy moments as well. So I think, Nikki winning it because Charlotte and Rhea get too distracted with each other or something like that will be a good way to do it. So, yeah, I'm going with Nikki winning as well.
Oh, so Nikki across the board at the moment. So, so then we go over to the blue side of things, also for the Women's Championship. That is the SmackDown Women's Championship in a rematch from WrestleMania. Bianca Belair versus the boss, Sasha Banks. Let's see who we got here. We have number 4. So you go first here. Rob has gone with a title change. He thinks it's going to be boss time once again.
Woo! Boss time, eh? I don't know. Because much like what you said about Rhea, is she really going to have the big moment on the 2 big pay-per-views? And we've talked about who would most likely be to lose it first. And I think we all saw it as being Rhea, ended up being that way. But at what point does it change with Bianca, you know? So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Sasha as well. So that maybe at the end of it, I know it always comes up, maybe Becky Lynch comes back. And if she does, she's better off going after Sasha than she is Bianca. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Obviously, we speculate that every month these days. She's the new CM Punk. But, yeah, I think if that happens, because it's got to happen at some point, it makes more sense to go after Sasha, being that Sasha is going to be more likely to be playing a heel. But then what do you do with Bianca? That's my only concern, you know? So, but you can't, she's still new, you know? It's kind of like when Randy Orton won it, you know, for the first time. He was young, he was fresh, it was pushed him into that thing, but then it was good for him to come back and do some other things and then build back up for his second, you know, because I think there's still a lot of things that you can do with Bianca Belair other than just kind of be like how they were with Drew last year, with like, he's in the top scene now and he's staying, you know? So, and I think it'd be good for Bianca to kind of like chase basically again. So I think that would be good. And yeah, and then maybe if she doesn't win it, come out of it, let someone else go back in, have a meaningful storyline somewhere else. That's more of a grudge storyline than feud. So, and then go back into the title picture again, because you've got a main eventer now. You've built this main eventer, so you can use it in different ways. It wouldn't harm her to lose it, come out the picture, or lose it and chase. So I think, yeah, Sasha kind of makes sense as far as this time round. So I think I'm going to go with Sasha as well.
Yeah, so this is where I'm going different. I think there's going to be a Bianca Belair retention. While I can see Sasha Banks winning it, I just think there's not. See, I just don't feel as though there's enough babyface challengers over on SmackDown. I feel as though there's more heel challengers than there are faces. So you've obviously got the three that were initially facing off against Bianca. So you've got obviously Zelina, Carmella, Sasha. Yeah. So you know there's three there's three there. I mean, you look at like babyface side of things. There's Liv Morgan.
Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch.
Technically,
I don't want to be that guy because every month, but
the thing is, technically, Becky's still a Raw superstar. So
yeah, come on, that don't mean nothing.
You know.
So I think that would make more sense, and then I'd like to see that grudge idea. You know, like I was saying, her going Bianca going to a grudge feud with those other girls. You know, so.
But then I think with the Becky thing, if the rumors to be believed, they're holding off until about October, November time with her return. So possibly Survivor Series rather than SummerSlam. I mean, I do think SummerSlam would be better because
especially if they want to make this like a Mania 2.0.
Yeah, like more people and stuff. You know, having that hit at the end. I mean, or even like you have Bianca win it and then have her come out and. Yeah, just basically destroy both of them and just assert her dominance straight away. And, you know.
Yeah, I guess she could come back to the babyface pop, but be a heel, couldn't she? She could go into being heel. So.
Or just come in as a badass babyface sort of thing and just come and destroy everyone. Yeah, pretty the last kicker, isn't it? So
yeah, true. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna lock it in for the champion retaining Bianca Belair. I think is gonna win. So yeah, so far I think I've only gone with one title change on this show. So yeah, let's see if that's going to remain after these two matches. So the next one is for the WWE Championship, which is Bobby Lashley taking on Goldberg. So let's see which one of us is going first. It is number one. That is me. Nice and simple. It's going to be... Rob said Lashley. Okay. So much like Rob, I'm going Bobby Lashley.
Wow.
I'm thinking this is going to be bell rings, spear, 1, 2, 3, done, quick.
Whoa, okay. I mean, you could describe that for both guys.
For both main events as well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, true. I meant both guys in the match, but...
Also, there is also the caveat as well that Rob has said he's not using a bonus point on it, but he did say that he reckons it could maybe lead not necessarily to a cash in, but he reckons it could lead to something with Big E. It's one of them where I'm not too sure as to the way that they would kind of go about it.
Yeah.
But so he reckons he's not going to use obviously a bonus point. I'm just trying to find where he said it.
If he's too coward to use a point, then we don't want to hear what he's got to say.
Yes, if you're not going to use a bonus point, then it's not worth it.
You don't get airtime then, mate. All right.
So he said, I hope this is the night Big E either cashes in or teases a cash in. And he said, I'm like, are you going to use a bonus point? He said, no, I just want it to happen. A naughty spear from Goldberg after the match to take out Lashley. Then out comes Big E teasing.
Yes, the only problem with that is for the tease is that's not a very babyface-ish thing to do. I know I've missed a few episodes, but he's still a babyface, Big E, right?
Yeah.
So so I can't see you can't. A babyface can't tease to cash in at the WWE's second biggest show of the year. I don't think that'll go down well. So, I don't think that'll happen. If he does cash in and you get, because Goldberg does the spear, that's basically what happens to Lashley. And although that will kind of be like poetic justice, I guess, like with Lashley helping Miz, that whole thing. It's also the fact that we've just done that. So I don't know if that's the way to do it either, because Big E should be able to. He shouldn't be the kind of plucky underdog run down to cash in and oh my gosh, you did it because someone else helped me. Big E's, he's a chunk of meat himself. Like he should be able to just take out Lashley and be built that way. So I don't want to see it that way.
But then, much like I said about the other thing, Big E's technically a SmackDown superstar as well, so that would mean him teasing a cash in on a Raw. Raw change.
Again, that doesn't you can jump brands. We've seen that, and I think it does make it more exciting because you expect him to go after the Universal title, don't you? So I get on that sense, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But so you're going just straight up. Bobby Lashley's winning, right?
I think straight up Lashley's going to win. I think it's going to be quite dominant as well.
But they've just brought Goldberg back. I know this exact same thing happened. Was it Rumble? Isn't it? Yeah. He's got to be back for a reason.
He's back
to lose.
Yes, but no, he's back because he's contractually obliged to do 2 matches a year, mate. That's why.
Yeah, but to lose 2 big matches, I don't know about that. Who did he lose against at the Rumble again?
Drew.
Okay, yeah. I guess, maybe we don't know what the man's like. Maybe he specifically said, look, you got 2 big stars in your hand. I want to help put them both over. Who knows? So maybe that is the case. I want that to be the case. Nothing against Goldberg, but I just don't think we have much benefit in him having the title at the moment. So
he's not Youngberg anymore, mate. He's Oldberg.
That's true. So. That is true. I don't know, man. The fact that you've gone so convinced to beat Lashley, I feel like going Goldberg is a bad idea, but is he going to defend it? What's going on in Raw? I think it would be wrong to take it off Lashley after the year he's had. It will help cement him if he beats Goldberg even more. So I'm going to optimistically go Lashley. I'm not as sure as you are. I think I'm going to go Lashley as well, out of optimism, rather than if I go Goldberg. But then I'm really going to be annoyed if Goldberg wins because I'll lose a point and I'll be disappointed in the fact that Lashley's lost it for real. So, I've locked it in. I'm going Lashley as well. Just because it feels like the safer bet. Now that you guys have said it. Got to think about those points.
Definitely. Then we move on to what is most likely going to be the main event of the evening, and that is Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against John Cena. Should have been Finn Balor, but Cena, obviously, the way you get a contract nowadays is you just write your name on it and you just sign it. Yeah. So it is going to be number 2. So you go first. Rob has picked Roman Reigns to win this one.
Okay, I am going with Roman Reigns as well. I like the fact they've mentioned the 17-time thing. It's a good way to get it in there. And it puts, kind of doubt in there a little bit. But I think if this was really about that, it would have been the entire storyline would have been about Cena's legacy and whatever else, you know. So I like that they've fed that in here, but it's not. It's like the icon versus icon. It's like the once in a lifetime that happened twice. But thankfully, because I was there for the second one. But yeah, like it is the new Rock and Cena. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, Hogan and Rock and Cena, Cena and Reigns. It's a shame it's not a WrestleMania. But yeah, this year's different, ain't it? So yeah, I'm glad to see it. It deserves to be in the main event. I'm looking forward to it. They're going to tell a fantastic story. Their promo on the SmackDown just gone was amazing. But yeah, for me, I think it's Roman Reigns. I think Cena doesn't need to win it. And I think he will get that 17. I just don't think this is the time. We were talking all along, you know, like someone big's got to beat Roman. And Cena is someone big. But I think Cena's back for SummerSlam. Cena's back for the match with Roman.
The occasion sort of thing.
He's not back for a title run, which I think will come. But I think at the moment, this is about Reigns. And I think that'll be the correct decision as well, because it'd be the passing of the torch. It'd be like, wow, if Cena can do it, who can? And then when someone else comes along and does do it, if it is Big E, that'll make a star right there. So, yeah, exactly. So I think that'll be really good. And yeah, I think I like Cena's kind of like explanation of it. Like, yeah, you're going to batter me, but I'm going to overcome it. And then, you know, when he doesn't overcome it, he's still Cena. He'll still look like, I nearly did it, you know, and they can go back into the doubts. Has he still got it, whatever else? Or they can bring him back and forget everything that happened, like when he came back after Firefly match or whatever it was called, that WrestleMania. So, yeah, I think it'll be fine if he loses, and I think it'd be much more beneficial if this is the time that Reigns keeps it, and a future date is a time that Cena wins it.
If Cena wins, we riot, mate.
Not so much anymore.
I think. See, the thing is, I could see Vince putting the title on him just out of spite for the whole for the Ric Flair thing.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, but it's going to come anyway, and I think you want Flair involved in that as well.
Yeah. I think. I mean, the thing is, I honestly think Cena's probably going to be happy to never break it. I don't think he needs to. You know, I think from all the stories that I've heard, like, he's got so much respect for Ric Flair and that, and so you know,
I can imagine that. Yeah,
just to be mentioned in the same breath as Ric Flair for him, I think is just the fact that they say you're on the same amount of title reigns as him is just going to be like enough for him. And I think as well for this Roman Reigns character, it's just gonna just propel him as well. You know, obviously there's talk of, you know, the showdown with The Rock at Survivor Series and then moving on to that being the main event of WrestleMania next year. But then even that, I wouldn't want The Rock to win, you know. I'd be happy with just seeing Roman just keep going with it, you know. Unless you've got somebody that is on the same level as Roman Reigns, it's going to be there week in and week out. Keep the belt on him as long as you can. You know,
I agree.
It's the old adage: if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. And you know, this is not broken. You know, Roman Reigns has been the best thing on SmackDown for a very, very long time now. You know, since he's been champion. Since he's come back, pretty much, he's been the best thing there. And the whole head of the table stuff, you know, there's numerous ways they can still go with it. Obviously, the addition of Naomi now quietly moved over to the SmackDown roster. They could even throw, like, obviously, her being married to Jimmy Uso. You can even throw her into that family dynamic as well. You know, have her maybe go after the women's title. You know, then we've got that heel to take on possibly Bianca. You know, then you've got, you know, all four of them with titles. And then all you need then is to get somebody else in that can maybe challenge for the Intercontinental title. But, I mean, I can't, you know, I've gone around the houses with it a little bit. But, yeah, I think Roman Reigns is going to win this. You know, it's going to, I guess, cement his legacy as the head of the table. And, yeah, I think at the end it's going to be one of those where you see the whole John Cena thing with him showing that respect to Roman and being like, you know what, I will acknowledge you as, you know, the head of the table. And I mean, I think it all depends as well on how long Cena's going to stick around for, because, you know, would you really want to just put a short title reign on him for, like, if he's around for, say, a month or two? Is it worth Roman dropping the title for a big pop for Cena just for a month to win it back again. The only way I could see Cena winning it is so that they could say, oh, he's got the 17th title, and then Big E come out and cash in on him. But then again, that's not...
You don't, and that's not a baby. Yeah, exactly. And that's not how you celebrate the record-breaking thing either, is it? Yeah. So. Yeah,
but then it could be that thing of like, oh, they're understating it, but it's like it's essentially like two fingers up at Flair. It's like, well, your record's gone, and we're not even made a big deal out of it because we know how petty the man that owns this company can be.
Possibly. So,
yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I think we're pretty much done with all of that at the moment. I mean, unless there's nothing else from Rob. So yeah, I think unless you've got anything that you want to add, then
no, just that I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've not been in the loop much lately, but SummerSlam. I love SummerSlam. I really enjoy it all the time. So and this card is stacked, and I have a lot of faith in a lot of the performers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Obviously, there's still a chance some more matches will be added, or we'll find out about the pre-show, obviously, which we'll go into on our build-up show, which, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As always, are some of the most fun streams we do. So if you're around for that, please subscribe and check it out. But
don't forget, that'll be on a Saturday this time.
Saturday, yeah, that's true. It's going to be really weird, man, like having a pay-per-view on a Saturday and being... Yeah, again, not only fans back again, we keep saying that now, but like being a stadium, being like, you know, and it is always the second best show, like second biggest show of the year, but like it's closer to Mania this year because of the way it's been promoted. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. Biggest party of the summer and all that.
Exactly. The thing as well, I think they say as well they can't go too much over time because there's a big boxing match that's going on in Vegas as well, and they don't want to overlap with that. So you know, hopefully we get like a reasonable time finish as well to it. So
yeah, hopefully. But there's already 8 matches, so I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, and I feel that a Raw tag title match I feel is going to be added as well to it for definite. But
yeah, so maybe that's where you get your pre-show in.
Yeah, maybe. So
well, any of these matches could get bumped. Earlier we were talking about how SmackDown tag title is greatest on the main show, but maybe it's not. So yeah,
exactly. So
but we'll know by the time the build-up show comes around. Anyway, we'll do our extra predictions and really hype up the show and talk about any last-minute additions.
And there may be more than the 2 of us on it. So
yeah, that'd be good.
Hopefully the others will join us.
Well, so because it will be the second biggest party of the summer then. So
exactly. So I don't know if I've got any more party gear, but yeah,
you'll recycle it. We'll have to find something.
Yeah, we'll find something for sure. But anyway, that is everything. I guess you know if as I say, I've been Dan, you've been Scott, we've been Rebellious Noise. Don't forget, check us out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the usual platforms, and you can tweet us at RM Pro Wrestling. Let us know as well what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, and leave us your thoughts. Who do you think is going to come out of SummerSlam victorious? So, yeah, that's it, mate. Ready for a party, and we're ready for summer. So,
yeah,
that's it. Hopefully, we get nice weather.
Hopefully.
So that's it. Yeah. Cheers. Take care. Bye.
See you later.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.